So Chadwick Boseman left no will, and it says here's how his assets will be divided. So again, new details have emerged. This started in 2020. As we all know, he unfortunately lost the battle with colon cancer, but somehow he had no will. He did get married before he passed, and his wife was named the administrator of the estate. And now there are some new details on how his millions will be divided. Now, first and foremost, remind us, administrator of the estate, what is that?
So yeah, the administrator of the estate, there's a lot of different terms for it, known as personal representative, executor, administrator. Different states have different ways they call it. In DC, it's personal representative is the generally acceptable term. That's the person who is in charge. They're appointed by the court. They're subject to the court's rules and jurisdiction, and they gather up the assets, they pay bills, they eventually distribute money to beneficiaries. If there is a will, they follow the wishes of the will. And that's kind of the role that that person has.
Okay. And so here, I guess this is probably in California, the term they use is administrator. So according to court documents, his widow has asked that the finances be divided evenly between herself and Chadwick's parents. Now that's incredible, because did she have to do that?
So this is California law. I'm not licensed in California. That's will be my caveat there.
Not licensed.
I'm familiar with California law, but I will say, if this were DC, and let's say he died in the District of Columbia, if he died as a District of Columbia resident, because the state that laws apply is based on where you were living as your residence. If it was in DC and he had no will, then it would all go to, and he had a spouse and no children, it would all go to his spouse. His parents would not get anything.
Right, because he married this young lady, and that makes her the widow, as I mentioned earlier, and she is the first individual that would be, looked upon. She's the administrator of the estate. Like, all of these things add up to her being in a position where she could say, okay, I've got it. Thank you all for your help. And just kind of, do as she pleased, right?
Right. She didn't have to share anything with his parents. So they must have had a good relationship. Maybe they talked about it. Maybe she felt like they deserved it. I don't know the exact circumstances, or if maybe California law is different, but there was some reason that she did that. And it's always nice to see that it seems like family members are getting along and working together, because I unfortunately have a lot of circumstances where they're not, and it ends up with years of fighting and thousands of dollars of legal fees. So it's good that, he didn't do it. It's not good that he didn't do it well, but it is good that for whatever reason, his widow and his parents are getting along.
Yep. First, very nice lady. Second, you know that I'm laughing because you and I, working together with these families in DC, have experienced some really hairy situations with personal representatives. And I think my record working with you to date is 6 heirs. I think that's been the total, the high thus far. And yeah, just from those instances working with you, I know how things can go. And this could, millions of dollars, this could have definitely went a different way. So this, to me, is just wonderful. All right. So,
and I'll just interrupt you. I can beat your record. I have a client who passed away with 12 children, all who were going to get the house. And predictably, they didn't all, they were not all on the same page. So 12 is my record for heirs.
Okay. Well, tip my hat to you, and also thank you for not recommending me to work with those dozen heirs and that God knows what associated with that. Is just, see, this is why I talk to you, man, because you're doing the Lord's work. Like, that's some stuff, no amount of money can prepare you for. And no,
it was more complicated than the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So Yeah, yeah, it was more characters than Endgame, so um,
Oh yeah.
yeah, so yeah, it was yeah, but anyway, it's it's interesting.